In this lesson, we're going to look at how IELTS letters need to be organised. So an IELTS letter is a task 1 for general training. These are the key things you need to think about when you structure or organise your IELTS letter. You need to think about the opening salutation, so who is the letter being addressed to or written to, the purpose of the letter, the key points of the letter, a polite closing sentence, and a closing salutation or signing off. So we'll explain each of these by going through a letter sample. So this is a letter to a friend about selling them your television. So you want to sell your television, you think a friend of yours might like to buy it from you. Write a letter to your friend. So in your letter you have to explain why you are selling the television, describe the television, and suggest a date when your friend can come and see it. So you must address those 3 points and write at least 150 words. So now take a look at a model answer and note how it has been organised around the organisation points, or those 3 points from the question. So we have firstly the opening salutation, so who the letter is to. You're told to use dear, so I've made up a name, Dear Gary. You've got the purpose of writing, so I hope you're doing well, I'm doing fine, though my life is hectic at the moment. Then the purpose, I'm writing to you about my television, which I've decided to sell. And then we've got that first bullet point that asks you to explain why you're selling it. So in here, the person explains that there's some things they can't take with them that are so big. One of them's the television. And he thinks, given the cost of shipping, it would make sense to buy a new one when he gets there. And then the bullet point 2 is explaining the television. So here it explains how it works. It's 32-inch flat screen Philips model, has a USB port. You can listen to music, has stereo sound surround. It's also a smart TV. And then we have the third bullet point 3 is addressed. So I'm leaving the country at the end of the month, which is only 2 weeks away. So if you want to see it, it would be best to come on the 20th or 21st. That'll give me time to sell it elsewhere if they're not interested. Then we have the polite closing sentence. Okay, I look forward to seeing you. Let me know if you can't make it. And then the closing salutation. So all the best, John. Lots of this is, you'll note that some of this is informal, but that's because it's an informal letter to a friend. You need to be more formal if it's a formal letter, for example, to a bank. So overall, it's a good answer, meeting all the requirements. In terms of the organisation, it starts with a salutation, gives the purpose of writing. It then addresses the 3 key points in the task about the television, why it's being sold, its description, and some possible dates. It's clearly organised, with each key point being addressed in a separate paragraph. It then has a polite closing sentence and the closing salutation. Regarding some other important points of letters, the tone is appropriate. It's an informal letter as it's being sent to a friend, so it has that kind of language. Hope you're doing well, so much to do, all the best. There's also evidence of the ability to use a mix of complex sentence structures correctly. Though my life, because, that I can't, if any of my friends, which is only, as you know, and correct use of modality as well, can't, would, might, will. There's lots more lessons and materials on IELTS general training and other parts of the IELTS test and practice tests at IELTSbuddy.com, so visit the site.